Hey there, FlexuBot fans! In this tutorial, we're going to be exploring the text feature under Visual Flow in the Bot Manager. This is part 1.1 and it's packed with tips to enhance your chatbot's responses. So let's dive in by first clicking on Bot Manager under Facebook Tools. For this tutorial, we will be using FlexuBot, and after that, head on to any of the options here, which will greet you with the option to create new flow using Visual Flow. So create one new flow on the right side. As you can see, it will redirect you to the Visual Flow, which you will be greeted with the first thing that you need to be creating, which is the Start Bot Flow. In each Visual Flow, this is needed and required in order to trigger your entire automation, since this is what you will set up to trigger all the progress that you have made. So the trigger word will be typed over here. Let's say you own a cake business, so let's set the trigger word to order cake. Take note that exact keyword match is that if someone types order cake, the exact match will be triggered. But if you click on string match, every sort of keyword of order cake, like capitalized one or lowercase or mix, will be recognized, such as, for example, the mix one, the lowercase one, and all uppercase and the normal one. All these will be recognized if you click on string match. But don't worry, in exact keyword match, it also recognizes it, so we highly recommend that you click on exact keyword match for future purposes, since when you start to learn about how FlexuBot works and you start to make advanced automation, you will be needing exact keyword match. So heading on to the title, let's name this cake. Heading on to the labels, you could assign already made label, or you could create a new one. You could also remove a label that's already pre-made over here. You could also subscribe to a sequence or assign a sequence. You could also unsubscribe from a sequence. More on this later. Sequence messaging. You could also assign this conversation to a group of people or assign this to a user. This is all within a team member plugin. More on that later. Last but not the least, you could also send data to webhook URL. More on that later. So let's click Done. So now we have our trigger word. For today's tutorial, we'll be talking about the text. So right off the bat, you will be given three options: whether to compose next message, to create buttons, and to create quick replies. Let's connect this to the text to trigger this text when the trigger is triggered. So let's start with compose next message. You could use the text to compose next message, either a new text, until new text, and until new text. Or you could compose next message using an AI reply, a carousel, an image, a conditional reply, Boolean reply, video reply, audio reply, file reply, RCN reply, or recurring notifications reply, or card reply, or e-commerce reply, or user input flow. After user input flow, we have these buttons. In buttons, you can create up to 3 buttons at one time. There you have it. And if you want to rearrange it to be more organized, just click on rearrange. Last but not the least, we have is quick replies. For quick replies, you could add up to 11 quick replies at a time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. If you do try to exceed the required limit, like right now, it will give you a warning. You cannot connect more than 11 quick reply contacts components. So let's rearrange them. As you can see, you have 11 quick replies. Since we already have the quick replies, let's start with quick replies. So for quick reply, you could disconnect this first since it's very unnecessary. Say someone wants to order cake, and let's say the next stage will be, thank you for ordering. This is just for example. Always remember, in FlexuBot, the sky's the limit, and your creativity is your only way in FlexuBot. So that everything in FlexuBot is possible once you are creative and once you know the complete features. Your creativity will only break boundaries. So let's say, just a quick reminder. So in quick reply, when clicking on quick reply, you will be given the option for the type of quick reply. It could be send message, start a flow, or get the phone number of the recipient or email. Let's say we want to get their phone, we want to get their email, and we want to start a flow. Just one, but we haven't created the flow yet since this is a tutorial video. A flow could be found over here. If you have created the new flow, you can use that pre-made flow and paste it over here. So let's omit that. Starting on with send message, you could create a new message which will redirect you and give you this option to create any of the following. Let's say text. This cake is beautiful. You could create as much, but 11 quick replies is a bit too much since you will be spamming your client, which I highly don't recommend. So this is just for example, so we'll just be using little since it's very not professional when sending this much message to your clients. Let's rearrange them. Since we have 4 options for quick reply, and the 4th one, since we still don't have any flow yet, we will be only using 3 flows, which is 3 quick replies. Let's test this out. Let's get started. There you have it. All at once. You have this quick reply all at once. You have the number. You're asking for their number. You're asking for their Gmail. And you have this test one, which is all over. Well, that concludes for the quick replies. Take note that the way I did it is just for test purposes. This has many use cases depending on how you want to use it. Could be for questions, could be used for surveys, and more and more. Your sky is the limit, so use your creativity and explore FlexuBot, and you will never regret exploring. Heading on, we'll use the buttons now. For the buttons, as mentioned earlier, you could use up to 3 buttons. let's say you want to order a cake. Let's say for this configuration button, the button can have send message, a send flow, redirect to a website, your cake website, a WebView poll, more on that later. You could also call us or set it as the default action button. So for this instance, I will be using send message. Let's say the button name will be cake1. Cake1, after that you could create after that quick replies. Cake1 is beautiful. I'll get back to you once I finish all this, so not to waste much time. Okay, so I just finished setting it all up. As you can see, we have created the buttons with the same settings: Cake1, Cake2, and Cake3. So once they press on this button, it will next move on to the next stage, which will message them with using the text: Cake1 is beautiful, Cake2 is nice, and Cake3 is delicious. Once they decide to click on that button, you can then now either end it by saying thank you for choosing us, and then it will automatically end. You could also send quick replies if you want to ask something, or depends on your preference or your use cases for quick replies. The sky's the limit, and let's choose to end it now by saying thank you for purchasing us, or thank you for choosing us. Let's test this out. Hit save. Order cake. As you can see, I chose the exact keyword match, but it still recognizes it. So let's try, since we have the end here, which is in Cake1. Let's try Cake1. Cake1 is beautiful, thank you for choosing us. Or you could do is Cake1 is beautiful. Cake1 is beautiful. Would you like to confirm order? And then you could create, let's say, yes, send message. Or if they say no, you could click send message, and you could compose next message, which is also a text. Let's say thank you. And then you need to hear that. You might like others. You might like other options. So let's test this out. Take note, as I always say, the sky is the limit, and you could possibly create as much as you want. You have all these canvas to yourself, all these space to automate your business successfully. The sky is the limit. Your creativity will set you free. Your creativity will help you empower and use FlexuBot to its full potential. Let's try it out by clicking save. So let's try that once again. Cake1. And there you go. Cake1 is beautiful. Would you like to confirm order? Let's say yes. Thank you. Let's say no. Sorry to hear that. You might like other options. And yes, that is for buttons. Heading on to composing that next message is very self-explanatory. You can do it alongside the buttons. You could just say view the buttons below to choose what you want. Take note that you can compose a next message and connect it to either one of these options. More on that later. So let's click save. And let's do that again. Order cake. As you can see, view the buttons below to choose the cake you want. My bad, it's above. Or you could set it up first, since if you set this one up first, the buttons will be below. But in our case, we set up the buttons first and then the next message. But that concludes the text under Visual Flow under Bot Manager. Thank you for watching, and until next video. Once again, always remember, FlexuBot is your partner in automation and innovation. Keep exploring new horizons through FlexuBot.